Hi, I'm Steve from the Fat Life Project and I am your Bennelong tour guide for today. My channel is all about showing you new things to see, eat and do one city at a time. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, why not subscribe so that we can go on more fun adventures together? I literally cannot think of a more iconic Sydney monument than the Opera House. But have you ever dined inside the Opera House? You see, it contains a Sydney fine dining institution that is a must-try. I speak of Bennelong, of course, and if you've never been and are thinking of going, I'm here to give you the complete lowdown from a brief history, an overview of the restaurant, to when to go, how to make reservations, a dress code, and last but not least, the menu and my personal recommendations. So if that sounds good to you, then just sit back, relax, and let me take you on a little journey to this iconic Sydney restaurant. Bennelong opened in July 2015. The executive chef Peter Gilmore also owns and runs Key, another excellent venue. They won the Best New Restaurant Award at many esteemed publications upon their opening, like the Sydney Morning Herald Good Food Guide, Australian Gourmet Traveller Restaurant Guide, Time Out Sydney Food Awards, and Galt and Maloo Australia. They're also, at the posting time of this video, a two-hatted restaurant by the Sydney Morning Herald Good Food Guide. I could also tell you about the numerous awards they have won for their killer wine selections, but you get the point. This is one heck of a fine dining restaurant. The restaurant space itself is also a sight to behold. It spans across 3 levels divided into 5 areas. You will see the first area upon walking into the ground level, which is the restaurant. The main dining area that offers their 3-course menu with VIP seats to panoramic views of Circular Quay. Honestly, you'll be hard-pressed to find a more iconic view than this. If you're dining alone, their center level also features a high bar seating overlooking the restaurant area with a 2-course menu a la carte. The Bennelong bar at the top level is the place to be if you're waiting for your table or really just want to have a nightcap after your meal while enjoying stunning views of the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. And then there's also the table and the Opera Circle for small to medium gatherings. Oh, and if you want to experience Bennelong in style, I highly recommend going on a Sunday as they do Sunday jazz from 12 to 3:30 p.m. This means we were greeted by jazz music as we entered and also throughout our dining experience. But I can't wait till you see the menu. Did you know that Bennelong and Key have long existing partnerships with small producers that cultivate produce exclusively for them? Their support of local produce is yet another reason to love them. The menu showcases Australian produce in its finest form, and in the main dining room you get to pick an entree, main and dessert for $180. The menu's theme is modern Australian, and you know, many people, including me, often ask what modern Australian cuisine means. Well, as Australia is such a melting pot of cultures, you will be experiencing fusions of Greek, Chinese, Japanese, Indigenous, English, and many more in the dishes. We eased into our dining experience with some fresh oysters with this lime and pepper granita that was superb, not gonna lie. If you fancy a cocktail to start your meal, you simply cannot start anywhere else but with this Clouds of Passion cocktail, comprising of a strawberry and coconut-infused Ketel One vodka, passion fruit, and vanilla mandarin oil. Yes, it sure is delicious, but also just look at it. My entree then arrived, and it was a perfect illustration of the fusion elements we were talking about earlier. This mud crab congee chawanmushi is obviously influenced by Japanese cuisine, but I have to say I've never had congee and chawanmushi in a single dish before. You wouldn't think of necessarily combining them together, but you know, it worked quite well. The congee was bursting with flavors thanks to the crab. The chawanmushi, aka steamed egg, was done to perfection. Overall, the dish was light yet flavorful, just the way you would want an entree to be, as you wouldn't want it interfering with the main dish. Speaking of which, my mind was absolutely made up for the mains as soon as I saw Black 9 Plus Wagyu on the menu. But let me give you a hot tip. Something I learned at this venue is when the waiter asks for how you would like your steak, just say however the chef recommends. This allows you to experience the steak exactly how the chef wanted you to experience it. And let me tell you, the steak was tender, flavored just right, and fatty without being heavy. Another bonus point goes to these cherry tomatoes. They were so sweet and juicy, so simple but so good. One of the friends I went with got the Korobuta aged pork rack and highly rated it. Looks like this is what I'll be trying next time I'm here. We paired the mains with some roasted potatoes and greens, which were also delicious. But oh my, wait till you see the desserts. You simply must get this following dessert if you're going to Bennelong. Pavlova is a classic Australian dessert and Bennelong's take on it is shaped like the Opera House. Look at it. I also highly recommend going with some friends and getting a different dessert each so that you get a taste of everything. My friends got the cherry jam lamington and the 5 textures of Queensland mango, which were both delicious. We capped off the meal with some more drinks at the Bennelong bar overlooking the Opera House, and I can honestly say that this whole experience was top notch. Dress code is smart casual, and whilst I really enjoyed the live jazz music, I also definitely want to come back in the evening to witness those panoramic views of Sydney at night. Booking link is in my description box, but before you go, if you enjoyed this little restaurant tour and want to see more of me in your feed, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe as it really helps my tiny little channel out. I also upload every weekend, so be sure to also turn on that bell notification so that you can start your weekend with me. I also have plenty of other Sydney food recommendations in my Sydney playlist, which will appear at the end of this video, and also heaps of content over on Instagram and TikTok. As always, I want to thank you for your support. I wish you a great day ahead, and I will see you soon in the next video.